no one deserves to have that much money. Part of this is why my wife and I started the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, our philanthropy, and pledged that we're going to give 99% of our Facebook shares away through that over our lifetime. You know, it's like we're funding science, for example, and it's like, and some people I think would say, well, is it fair that that a group of wealthy people get to some degree choose which science projects get worked on? And I don't know how to answer that exactly. I mean, at some level it's not fair, but it may be optimal in that it's like, or better than the alternative.
Oh, thank you so much for pledging to give up 99% of your shares of Facebook, Mark. Quick question though, why aren't you doing that now? Because even if you gave up 99% of your $198.3 billion of wealth, you would still be a billionaire with nearly $2 billion. Which means with even a moderate return on investment of 10%, you would still be making nearly $200 million per year for doing absolutely nothing. See, people like Mark Zuckerberg want us to believe that capitalism is optimal to the alternative of governments controlling wealth. But this is a false dichotomy created by the Red Scare and McCarthyism that ignores the third option of simply giving workers fair wages and ownership in the businesses they labor for. In addition, this ignores the fact that we don't work for government, government works for us. Furthermore, by allowing billionaires to donate their wealth rather than redistributing it through taxation or fair wages, we are allowing them to have great influence over areas they have no expertise in. When billionaires such as Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates pledge to donate large portions of their wealth, they're not doing it to the public directly. They donate it to their nonprofits, which they use as a tax write-off. If billionaire philanthropy was an effective way of tackling inequality, then inequality would not be at an all-time high. While we focus on the large donations to their own charities, we are ignoring the hundreds of billions of dollars that they do not donate. Quite often, these charities do more harm than good. What does a tech CEO such as Bill Gates know about food insecurity in Africa? From one of his beneficiaries, quote, Bill Gates should stop telling Africans what kind of agriculture Africans need. Andrew Carnegie was viewed as the philanthropist of his day, donating $350 million in his lifetime. Andrew Carnegie was perhaps the first to state publicly that the rich have a moral obligation to give away their fortunes, and he wrote about it in his essay, The Gospel of Wealth, in 1889. And in that essay, we find this little ditty of a quote right here. It were better for mankind that the millions of the rich were thrown into the sea than so spent to encourage the slothful, the drunken, the unworthy. I guess according to Mr. Generous, his own steelworkers fell under the category of drunken, slothful, and unworthy. With a redistribution of wealth through taxation, we the working class are capable of determining what is best for ourselves and holding government spending accountable. But how do you plan on holding billionaire spending accountable?